Hi friends, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like your video. Thank you all. It's great when two things we like come together. The Genesis GV70 was our 2022 SUV of the year. Several of our other recent of the year winners have been electric, including the Lucid Air sedan, the Rivian R1T pickup and, most recently, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 SUV. So, yes, a battery-powered version of the GV70 sounds like a melding of two good ideas to us. The Electrified GV70, a name of which we are not fond, since electrified usually implies partial electrification of the powertrain, such as a hybrid, while electric means an all-electric car, doesn't ride the dedicated E-GMP platform that underpins the Genesis GV60, Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6. Rather, it is literally an electric version of the gasoline GV70, as is the Electrified G80 sedan, though Hyundai insists the architecture was designed with battery power in mind. The battery itself rides under the floor, as in most dedicated EVs, while the control gear lives under the hood, leaving just enough room for a small cargo box, a frunk in name only. Genesis gave us a sneak preview of the car ahead of its American debut at the Los Angeles Auto Show. But for the color, we could have been looking at our own GV70 3.5T long-term test car. The biggest visual difference is the grille panel, no longer needed as an air intake. Hyundai has cheekily put raised diamonds where once there would be openings, sort of a reverse grille, get it? And cleverly concealed the charge port within it, with seams so thin it's like a hidden door in a haunted mansion. On the other hand, placing the charge port in the nose of the vehicle presents some issues, namely chargers to the side of the vehicle or, say, mild fender benders potentially miring the port. Out back, a smooth panel covers the space where the engine's big exhaust outlets would otherwise be. The brake calipers are white, which we thought would make them a magnet for collecting brake dust, but if the GV70's regenerative braking works as well as it does in other Hyundai Group EVs, there won't be much brake dust to collect. Slipping in behind the wheel, the view from the driver's seat is largely the same as the gas car but for the color scheme, an optional dark green and white palette already offered on other Genesis electric vehicles, and a boost button in the center steering wheel spoke, which, we imagine, will have the same grin-generating effect as it does in the GV60. What once were shifter paddles now change the level of regenerative braking, just like other Hyundai/Kia/Genesis EVs. The gauge panel retains fits nifty 3D graphics, with a power/Regen meter in place of the tachometer. The back seat feels somewhat tighter. Genesis told us to expect a slight reduction in interior dimensions, something we've already noted in the Electrified G80 as compared to the gas-powered model. And while the gas GV70 has a spare tire under the cargo floor, the electric version uses that space for, electric stuff. Structurally, Genesis was able to simplify the Electrified GV70's body structure as compared to the gas engine version, since the battery box provides a great deal of rigidity. Suspension components were beefed up to compensate for the added weight. When we first drove the Electrified G80, we noted that the driving characteristics were largely the same as the gas car, and we expect the Electrified GV70 will mimic the driving dynamics we've enjoyed on the internal combustion version. As for the mechanical bits, Genesis has no official details to share, but noted that the car is already on sale in other markets, something they pointed out while winking in a comically exaggerated manner. Rest of world Electrified GV70s have a dual-motor all-wheel drive powertrain producing a total of 320 kilowatts, which is 429 horsepower to us Americans, and which just so happens to be the same output as the dual-motor GV60. The battery is listed at 77.4 kilowatts, same again as the GV60. They did tell us that the Electrified GV70 has the same 800-volt system as the E-GMP vehicles, and that means we should see the same rapid charge rates. Hyundai Group is fond of bragging that their E-GMP cars can charge from 10 to 80% in 18 minutes, provided you can find a 350 kilowatts fast charger, a claim we've repeatedly verified. That's a good thing for the Electrified GV70, because based on the numbers we're seeing, its EPA range is likely going to be slightly less than that of the smaller, dedicated EV GV60, 240 miles would be our educated guess. We were hoping for something closer to, or better than, the Electrified G80 sedan's 282-mile range, but such is the limitation of working with a non-EV dedicated platform. Seems there just isn't room for the G80's 87.2 kilowatt-hours battery, let alone something larger. The Electrified G80 will be the first Genesis model assembled in the U.S., specifically at the same Montgomery, Alabama plant that builds the Hyundai Elantra, Santa Cruz, Santa Fe, and Tucson. Stateside assembly is one criteria the GV70 must meet to qualify for the revised federal EV tax credit. The others involve the content and assembly of the battery, still an unknown, at least to us, and price, which, for SUVs, must be under $80,000. Basing our estimate on the premium Genesis charges for the Electrified G80, and tossing in a little extra cash for destination charge and next year price increases, we think the electric GV70 will likely come in around $75,000. Steep, yes, but remember that Electrified GV70 owners will never have to buy gas or change the oil. Ever. We're doing lots of speculation here, but we should have facts before too long. The Genesis Electrified GV70 is scheduled to begin production in the next few weeks, and it shouldn't take much longer than that to get it into dealerships and, hopefully, the Motor Trend parking lot. Considering our high regard for the gas-powered GV70 and the company's other EVs, we're eager to try it out.